I grew up with all these dudes just been like Tyrese in Baby Boy. Like that kind. How many men in Baby Boy? Come on. Tyrese's best friend, Chiscop. Tyrese, Chiscop. Tyrese's mom, boyfriend, Chiscop. Everybody was cleanly shaven. Clueless. Movie Clueless. Murray. Chiscop, Murray's friend, cleanly shaven. History that I come from are men. They were always with bald heads and never stopped loving that. It's what I grew up in. I want a man that grows his hair. I don't want to compete with him with the mirror and all that jazz. Now they're allowing the hair to grow and I'm just like, guys, come on, leave the 22-year-olds to be the ones with the new trend, literally walking around Archer in these streets with a little bit of a little thing on their heads. I've never liked hair on men at all, not even dreadlocks. Most of the guys that I grew up among were like that anyway, you know, cleanly shaven. I was attracted to them, with all of them, cheese scob. Now they're growing funny little things on their heads, like little crowns. I have a thing about a man that doesn't have hair. It kind of almost looks more mannish than guys with hair. Happy to have absolutely no hair on their heads, and that's something that I was so attracted to.
Hello, please like, please comment, please share and share and share and share, and then please subscribe. Thanks.
How you doing? In the name of Christ. I'm doing a horror movie and now all of a sudden it's dark. Angle. I'm an angle. Mina. Yenze what mina. Yenze ini mina. Yenze what mina. Mina. Okay, after all that shuffling and fumbling around trying to find the right place to chill, I'm here. Hey, how are you doing in the name of Christ? It's your girl, Cran. When I do this, all of a sudden it gets so dark. How's that? I'm just sit here. So dreamy. Oh. Ooh. I keep ducking. Like, if I just do this, I don't want my lighting to be not adjusting. I not gonna want you adjust. I not gonna want you correct. I not gonna want you do straight. I not gonna want you fix it. I not gonna want you just correct me. I don't want you be straight. I not gonna want you give problems and I not gonna want you give glare. I said I not gonna want you A. I said I not gonna want you do B. I said I not gonna want you do straight. I said I not gonna want you do skew. I said I not gonna want you do crooked and I not gonna want you do straight. But I not gonna want you do everything I know now and that I don't want to. I not gonna want you do straight. Not gonna want you do cricket. I'm not gonna want you figure out why you're not gonna want you natural lighting no better. I'm not gonna want you do cricket. I'm not gonna want you be skew. I'm not gonna want you not bring I'm not gonna want you go straight. I'm not gonna want you fix it. I no go want you go glare be me no go sing on a. I no go want you this a mic. I no go want you and no sing. I no go want you go sing along, I sing along, I sing along, I sing along, I sing. I no go want you be put here. I no go want you identify. I no go want you my econy and I no go want you go destroy. No go want. I no go want chon. No go want you go put you here, but I no go want you with what? I'm not go want you. I'm not go want you. No go want you go. Ooh, they said no go want you be perfect, but I no go want you no square. No go want you go give me box, and I no go want you find box. No go want you. Oops, sorry, crank cat. Eish, no go want you go tiny space, and I no go want you got no way to walk. I no go want you, and I no go that work. No go want you no cat me, I no sorry. Crank catty. I no go want you go straight. I'm not gonna want you go crooked. I'm not gonna want you go box. I'm not gonna want you identify in a box, so I'm not gonna want you not find. Me, I'm not gonna go have many struggles. And I'm not gonna want you to go out. Fine, cat. Was a mistake, man. Hey. I'm not gonna want you go sensitive. I'm not gonna want you go identify animal abuse, and I no go want you. Me no animal abuse. Me na mistake. No go want you. No go want you go fumble around before no go want you start ministry. No go want you go put na light na box. I'm no go want you. No go want you got chippies bubblegum. No go want you go find a place, and I no go want your place box. But I'm not gonna want you when I'm not gonna want you, and I'm not gonna want you go sit over here. And I'm not gonna not gonna want you, not gonna want you. Not gonna want you, man, I go, Not gonna want you, gonna reflect. Not gonna want you, meta new. Everything is just no go want. No go want. Me say man, no go want you go correct. No go want you go far away. No go want you, me no go want know what a no go want do with a no go want to. No go want. No go want you is perfect. Just the no go want to is not working. Me I no go want no nothing no go work. So I'm not gonna make work. No go want you not perfect. No want you like how's that? No go want you na box over there. It look like a no go want box go reflect light. No go want white box, use it in the background. No go want see how it work. No go want you unstable. No go want you go disturb. No go want you me na no wanna know new do me in a lighting condition. I mean no go want you gonna hit you box, and I no go want you gonna chill on it. No go want me I no confused when I no want you no go use a box so. No go want them, and I'm gonna grab box so box on over working out for me, yo. No go want you, no go want tea, and then no go want 10 pente. No go want on a box, na light too bright, na light too bright. No go want name, and no go want 3, no go want 7, 28. No go want that look, no go want like it might just work, but I no go want. No go want everyone want what no go want wants. No go want man I wanna go be blinded. No go want I'm so distracted. No go want I'm so annoyed. No go want my eyes be blinded, and then no go want my eye no see. No go want me I know gonna continue na look at a light. No go want to me I go be blind woman, and I no go want to. No go want be blind me or no, but I no go want be now see I blind though. Because no go want me na go worship Jesus, and so no go want give me sight back. But I no go want box, and I no go want still no see proper one, and no go want going down. No go want me I gonna be confused, and I no go want not know what no go want do. No go want no go wanna go na twa. Me no go want no, and I no go na box. I mean no go, and I no go na use and a box, and I no go mana No go want go be a horror movie, and I say no I be the window creeper. Me no go show you na my flames, but a ghost, me ta no go want to now and want start work. No go want 1, no go want 2, me no go not know what me no go not do. No go not train a nigga not sit me nonsense. Me ta no go no pa why. No go no me not know what me no go not do. Me no go no confused. No go no me I no go paint the wall at the back, and that's what no go one reflection. No go one no gonna look and I paint and my head and my finger. And so now no go one go paint background and I give me better view, but no. Now, no go one go reflect back and go bounce back like me. No one not sure what no do. No go one no try. No go 1, 2, 3, 4. Naga try 10 times. I no. What me no gonna do? Me no gonna know what no gonna do. Me no gonna my eyes blind. Me no gonna know too much light in my eyes though. No go 1, 2. Naga no go 9, 3. Naga no go 9, 7 and 10. Mina no gonna annoyed. No gonna wanna ka do. Somebody tell me what to do. No go nine. No go me. Naga no go nine. No naga no go nine. Being an adjustment. Mina tired of me. Mina naga need to start to talk about mega important things. No go me. Mina no go too much growth man. No go met a mop on my head. No gonna too lazy me now. No gonna change my head because me not gonna go through much. I'm just going through it. No go nine. You know, stick around till here, even though I'm gonna go sing me a Noga Nine song. So you might as well know gonna stick around until the end and you're gonna Nine subscribe. Noga Nine subscribe to me, me I don't know what to do anymore. Noga Nine you still here, you might as well go and be follow. Noga Nine no, meta Noga Nine name, meta Noga Nine naka no. Noga Nine we're gonna go settle me, you me now otherwise never gonna start. Hi guys, in the name of Christ, how are you doing? It's your girl Cranky. I promise you I will figure this out. I will. I'm trying to best up, improve my situation in the background. I'm trying to improve my videos so that life does not suck. I promise you today's such a rough day. South Africa, why won't you stop? I haven't even bathed. Do you know why? Because my mom changed the geyser because it went all bust on us. And the guys who changed the geyser left a multiple hours ago, but the water's still all about that life getting hot, and I'm like, what? So I'm dirty right now. Prior to coming here, there was a power cut, so more so then did the geyser get delayed, and now I'm not gonna coming here all dirty. I obviously look dirty. If you ain't noticed there's dust on my face, then not gonna you're gonna be blind though. You not gonna see nothing no. And I'm like, hey guys, no, me I'm dirty. So I haven't bathed. I'm still in tracks, pajamas. I didn't go out of my way. I only covered my growth over here, so I don't look like a monstrosity. I don't know what to do. No, it is lighting condition. No, me go make me insecure. Sorry. Me I go bap in front of you. Go bap and then I go window reaper. Guys, me I don't go paint the wall at the back over there, I paint the wall because me I want to go improve lighting condition, or me I want to go improve just the general look and feel of my ministry in the background. So I go paint it and now everything reflecting back because I use color white. Look at my paint. I haven't go take shower. Me I told you I went and I paint the wall today. There was no paintbrush, so I go and use a wash rag. And now you go look at the background, and I'm trying very hard to go and walk out and carry on as normal, but I can't, because if I go over here, all of a sudden everything is dark. Before it was working out, but now it's not working out anymore, so the color white is not working. So I don't know what to do anymore. Me, I just don't make so confused. My middle name is Confused, or they want to confuse me. So no, I'm not gonna know. I can't work this anymore. It's not gonna go seven. It's not gonna go operate anymore. Maybe I should just go and grab that in the background and just remove it, because that's what's causing all the reflection coming back, bouncing at you, looking like a kangaroo. Me, I'm not gonna know what to do, Let's go grab this. I'm not gonna go fidget around all over the show. My life is so distressing. My life is so disturbing. Everything is distressing. Everything is falling apart so in my life. I'm not gonna know what to do. But if I go and take this away from the back, then you go see that it's ugly environment. So what must I do? Somebody come and give me an explanation, please. I'm so confused. I don't know what to do. Me, I'm gonna go try and attempt. Everything I try and attempt just fall apart on me. So, Farina sister for what? Chineke, me, I don't go understand why you leave me over here. So me, I'm trying to improve background condition so that you can go and be impressed with what I'm doing over here. So you can listen to me. So you can go and literally lend me an ear. I am asking for your ear, nothing else. So I want you to go and lend me an ear. But instead you go and lend yourself with visibility of background. But I don't go confuse you. I'm here giving a gospel, but I don't have amenity. I don't have equipment. I don't have everything I need in order to go do proper. So you're not going to listen to me because I don't have proper ministry condition in the background. Even though I'm speaking very much sense, but now I'm not going to confuse in everything. I'm walking around carrying books, so I'm not going to know, maybe look like a ghost, so you go listen to me. I don't know. Why you gonna not listen to me? Why you not subscribe? Eh? Why you not go do right thing? Why you not go click like or something? Why you not go comment? I don't understand. What must I do to go and deal with you and your rubbish? What must I do to go and deal with you with your nonsense? Why are you acting as if though I'm not giving you gospel flavor? I'm tasteful over here. I'm like aromat. So please, you're not gonna make me use box, so me I'm not gonna be confused. I'm so confused. I don't know where to put any light anywhere, so that even my blemish don't show so much. I got so much acne on my face, so and I'm scared to put the light close to my acne. Next thing you say, oh, but she's got so much acne. What must I do? I can't go see the dermatology. Hey, everything on mine go fall apart. Me, I don't know what to do. Now with all of this white paint in the background, I was also sitting on my knuckle. It is going all right here to reflect off the wall, and so now there's no way safe. There's no way to go. I try to come during the day, but it's so difficult. Me, I do my edits at night, so next thing I'm awake at 3 a.m. in the morning. Oh. So I try to wake up, I'll be alright, but then during the day, so much time progresses. By the time I wake up again, no. Me, I realize the sun is gone. So what must I do? I don't go satisfy your itching ear. I don't go satisfy your itching ear. You sit over here, you go gather yourself a great number of teachers to teach you what your itching ear wants. I'm not going to entertain your itching ear. Me, I'm not going to be interested. I look like a construction worker in here. I'm not sure what to do. Maybe I should just go and put it over here and it'll act like my mic. Maybe you not realize. You're not going to realize that I've got acne. Acne that's making you suffer me long. You are making me suffer long because me I got acne. So now I don't go disturb you with acne. What is your problem? You are rubbish. You were sitting over there are rubbish. Why you not go subscribe, no comments? Why you not go sit over there, subscribe or comment or do something with yourself that is relevant over here? Why don't you make yourself useful and subscribe? Make yourself useful and subscribe. Me I not go understand what you do, you know. I'm suffering too much pity around my life. Now I don't go correct myself. I need to go and monetize my account. Subscribe. Oh, I'm not confused. You're not gonna confuse me. I'm exhausted. I'm thoroughly exhausted. I don't know what to do. I obviously cannot use these lighting. Come on, we need to figure this out together. It's alright, you know. No, actually, it's not okay. I haven't bathed, and that's like challenging. It's problematic. I can't bath because it's too cold. It's winter, and the geyser's not properly like heated up. I just come from a power cut, so I'm here like all raw and uncut. Bad hair, looking like I got a mop on it, and paint all over my hands, and yet I'm here. What more do you want? What's more? Man, I'm gonna go end my life for what? For who? For you already was sitting over there looking like a dumb dog. Never. Or you pinky and the brain or try to take over the world. Come at me and I will sort you like a fly. I will not do this. I am thoroughly lying beside myself with horror as to why these lighting conditions are not quite working out fast enough for me, and I'm like confusion, like I have no clue what to do. How's that? Is that working out? I think we found our sweet spot. I've got things that I need to say. I painted the wall in the back in order to try and improve like what this place looks like. It'll always look like a small little mukuku, a shack, but I'm trying to get people to not be so distracted by my background. So I like painted over it, and even then I didn't even really paint. I just used a wash rag to just put some paint over the lines, the stripes, just the noise. So you will listen to me and nothing else. My life hurts. Okay? Everything is painful, excruciating, and that's why I need to get out of this. I understand that our men are in danger. I get of hellfire. I get that they are defeatist, like in the worst way, but at the same time, while it is imperative for us to pray for them, me I'm not gonna be destroyed in the process. I'm trying to get my life back. I don't know if I'm gonna go succeed. I have no clue, because I'm waiting on the Lord. But I feel exasperated by men. I feel exasperated by black men, and I feel thirsty to come here and continuously talk to them. Talk to one in particular, maybe 2 or 3. I low-key hope that in like literally being at the threshing floor of this particular guy, that some other person who actually makes sense for me will step up. That's what I'm like low-key hoping for, because at this point in time I'm so exhausted. I am so tired with hoping that black men will start to do what makes sense. I really am exhausted. with hoping for the better. We've been hoping for generations upon generations, guys. And you know what? We, like the other day I spoke about systematic oppression and how it is that black men have got rooted in why it is that they are so frankly horrendous to black women. The fact that they just haven't quite recovered from the scars of systematic oppression. But we all come from systematic oppression, black men, not just you, okay? It is not just you. Black women also had to go through it. We had to endure rape at the hands of slave masters who disregarded the fact that they've put babies in our stomachs even though they came out looking all mixed. Like, we had to endure being married off to men also that we didn't sign up for. We had to endure everything that you went through, scourges on our backs. We had to endure it all. So the conquering nature of black women in comparison to black men. My camera is a little bit shaky because I keep on moving around a whole bunch. Let me try and stabilize it. The conquering by black women of the structures that afflict us and hold us hostage. In the absence of black men also getting around to conquering. Oh my goodness, like, wow, guys, I'm so sorry. Okay, I will have to edit that out, just, you know. Sorry. The fact that we as black women conquer the way that we do all of these structures that threaten our very existence, or to then translate to black men. We've all come, like, freshly come out of that darkness. Not freshly, that's actually quite old when we came out of it. More or less at the same time, women actually were kept in some kind of oppression for longer by mere virtue of being women. We had lesser opportunities in this world, so it's just really very, you know, yeah, not okay that we are striving to do a better thing and you're not, as men. It's just, it's so freaking taxing. I'm sorry. It's exhausting. I literally don't understand for the life of me why we have to grovel and beg and salivate and like literally just become these very unsavory looking creatures in order to try and rescue men that have absolutely no desire of being rescued. It's like we're spoon feeding them. I don't know what to do with that. Like, you see, if I click over there, you see that light in the background, and then there's that situation. Oh, Lord have mercy. Whew. Like, you know, like, what? Like, I don't know what to do. Let's try and move over. Scoot. Because, like, I painted the wall white and now the glare is just like, I didn't expect that. I did science in school. I should have known better. But, you know, it is what it is. Like, everything is just so super dark unless I like chill like exactly here. Anyway, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not even all that comfortable because I haven't bathed. I feel sticky. But yeah, I just want to give you a little bit of an understanding as to what I wanted in a man, other than character traits, right? So this is not so much a chat about things like kindness and romanticness and whatnot. This is not a chat about physical attraction. I apologize. Let me grab me some tissue, blow my nose. Guys, we are going to be dealing with these issues in my ministry. It's just so sad. I'm sorry about blowing my nose in front of you. These are going to be perpetually the challenges that I'm facing. Just constantly because of my living conditions. They are lackluster, to say the least. Physical attraction to men. I spoke the other day, yesterday actually, as recently as yesterday, about what do you call this? Like character attraction. So today let's speak about physical attraction. What I want, what I'm like, I desire. I don't know what to do. Hey, like, whoa, oof, like, Lord have mercy. I will never stop to just like talk through it and stop agitating you or making you click away and then I complain that I have no subscribers. Anyway, whatever. Alright, so it's freezing in this country right now. My lowly life makes people ignore very important things that we are all struggling with. I guess that's just the way that the world has always been. Like what in the world? Hey, how's it? I hope that has made life just a tiny bit better. My feet are so cold, but yeah, the sooner I get this done, the sooner we can get inside some blankets, okay? Alright, physical attraction, for me, has been an all-encompassing bubble bath that I get into that warms my body on a cold winter day. Have you ever taken a bath when it's like super cold? I mean, you know that feeling, right? It's like, oh, and then you thaw. You literally defrost. You thaw. Well, physical attractiveness for me to a man is the thing that makes me thaw from the coldness of black men, guys. They're cold, they're unloving. I'm sorry, it's such a problem. They're unloving, but they are so freaking nice to look at. I'm in Christ now, you know, so I don't get to carry on as normal. I can't. Yo, man, real talk, okay? I'm a black woman. I was a black girl, and I grew up among black people, and I'm in the blackest continent on the planet, Africa, South Africa, just in case you were wondering where, ne? I grew up in a black township too, so I wasn't always in the suburbs around white people. And in Africa, black people tend to have multiple languages that they speak alongside English, you know. Yeah, we are of different tribal groups. Tswana, Sotho, Zulu. This is South Africa, so I mean, if you go to Nigeria or wherever, there's their own segmentations too, and they speak their own languages alongside English. Like, it's an African thing. In other continents, more westernized continents or Caucasianized continents, black people there, if they were born and bred there and raised there, tend to have only one language that they speak. English, right, or French or whatever, depending on where you find yourself as a black person. So Africa is the richest continent to grow up in, frankly, as a black person, in terms of culture and broadness of it, diversity of it. So we have a lot in us going down that is very intriguing to look at. We're like a television screen. We're interesting to watch. Our various nuances, our quirks, yeah, quirks, not quacks. Our quirks are, you know, curiously gazed upon. People get curious with us. They want to know what's going on. I was watching a bunch of TikToks earlier, and many of the women that are coming forward to do their TikTok thing that come from the African continent, they love to wear their African gear. They love to also, you know, embody the African background, the landscape, even the poverty that comes with Africa sometimes, because the world just eats it up. They gobble it up. The colorfulness of this joint up in this monster has made the world very interested in what we're going to do next. We are funny. Our quirks and nuances are hilarious. the way we talk, the way we express shock, and onomatopoeias that come out from us are funny. I personally am from South Africa, and we have our own quirks, but I'm obsessed and addicted with West African culture, as you can tell. Like Ghana, Nigeria, I'm addicted to those guys, right? So I love their facial expressions too, and their the way that they bring forward shock, their onomatopoeias, the words they use, their cultural way about themselves. I am besotted with it. It tends to be pretty predictable across African culture, in period, such that even with Africans that you would find in other countries, other continents that are not Africa, they can't uproot it. It just doesn't get out of them. I mean, we all know the poignancy and the massive influential nature of Black American culture. It's Black American, and we all know that it's Black American. Like, it's not just American culture. It's not Latina American culture. It is not Caucasian or European American culture. It's Black. Like, they're loud, they're boisterous, they have these things, these jokes they've got. Yeah, there's something about us that, is just, we're over the top. Even if we're not from Africa, where we can be totally over the top as Black people, right? We are. We loud. And expressions, like, chin, like, you get my point. So, being a Black girl, having grown up in the blackest continent on the face of the earth, in Black townships, influenced mostly by Black culture, and having had only mostly Black friends all throughout my life, and having only dated Black men, I got to love everything about being Black. I did, right? For me, it was like the thing that got me, that understood me, that gauged me rightly. So you could imagine just how difficult it is for me to fathom that I gotta walk away from all that, not because I wanna, but because it's kind of kicking me out. I have always been attracted physically in the worst way. In the worst way. It's so difficult for me, like, even now, to Black men, guys, like, oh goodness, Lord have mercy. I've always, like, there's just something about the Black man. Man, like, I don't know what's going on. So when I was growing up, we were always just like crushing on these boys, and the thing that attracted me to them was that boisterousness, how loud they are, how they talk with each other. They are just so loud. They are loud, and their voices are deep, and the way they laugh is just, it takes over the room. And they have, so in my cultural set in South Africa, I come from Soweto, right? But Black men across the country are like this, all of them, whether they're from Soweto. There is a culture that comes from Soweto on its own, but we tend to sort of more or less be the same. They have a language that they speak that only they get, and I just love it. My Lord, I love it. It's ghetto, it's street. Guys, the thing that has sometimes gotten us racistly mistreated because it's ghetto, when somebody's called kind of street hood and gentrified, for the life of me, I am beside myself with adoration for it. Like, I like street, hood, ghetto men, and it's just, I can't even tell the way they talk. Like, we have multiple languages that we speak, and those languages are refined and they're clean on their own. Like, imagine the French language, it's refined, it's clean on its own. And then there's like French slang, I would imagine. Well, there is slang in our languages that does not form part of like dictionary words of those particular languages. Like in Tswana, there's Tswana words, and then there's Sotho. In Sotho, there's Sotho words, in Zulu the Zulu words, and pure unadulterated Zulu, Tswana, Sotho, rarely ever will you hear it being spoken in a cultural diversified township like Soweto, where you have got all different kinds of cultural groups there, tribal groups, like tribal groups, let's just call it that, speaking different languages and alongside English. Soweto is super watered down. Soweto is the place where black people went together after coming from their respective places. So the Zulus were from KZN, the Sothos were from, I guess, Lesotho before it like was broken off from being part of South Africa. The Tswanas were from Botswana, which also used to be part of South Africa. You get my point. And then there's the Limpopo people who speak, I believe, Pedi or whatever, etc. And then they all just flooded to Soweto. Soweto, I don't know what's going on with that place, but it's not an original village, if you want to call it that. It's like the place where it's like an urban. It's like the urban place that all the rural village people go to. And so kind of lose their original language. They lose it, and so they start to walk in slang. So basically, if a kid was born and raised in Soweto, they are very highly unlikely going to speak pure Zulu, pure Tswana, pure Pedi, pure Shangaan, pure Venda, pure did I say Zulu Tswana? Yeah, you get my point. Our respective languages rarely ever Swati pure. Like, yeah, very rarely will you find people living in Soweto speaking KwaZulu Natal Zulu. So I used to covet like no man's business. People like Nomzwa Mombata who come from KZN and they've got that raw Zulu. Like when I used to watch Isibaya back in the day, I was just I would look to listen to these guys speak and I'd be like, what would I give? You know, Connie Ferguson can speak like hard knock raw. I believe it's Tswana, right? And for me it's like, and a lot of times actors and actresses in this country that get hired in local shows that use local languages, they come from like the rural areas because they've got the language down, like the real deal down. But us from Soweto here, yeah, no, our Tswana is like, you know, Zulu's, it's like Fanagalo, all right? It's not the real like deal language. But alongside us not speaking the pure dialect, the pure Zulu, the pure Tswana that our parents know, you know what I mean? We of course inherited then Soweto issues, Soweto like watering down of our languages, and it is that watered down way of speaking that just takes me like a tsunami. And it happens across black culture. Like, okay, let me use an example with American culture. You will find like I get they speak English. If they've got a Spanish like influence, then maybe they might have some Spanish in there, blah blah blah. For the better part of the time, they've just got like English. And so if you find like a little bit of a snob black woman or a man that grows up in like middle class America, they will speak English like Arabo, you know, like, you know, their grammar's on fleek, it's on point, everything is like put in its place type thing. But then if you're dealing with a ghetto, like from the ghetto, like a bit of a Soweto American, but tantamount of Soweto, their English is not English as the English language is pure and refined with commas and full stops and whatnot in the right places. And it's also got lots of slang, and this slang is understood only by black American culture. Literally, you will not, well, of course, now these days with cultural appropriation alongside mixing up and what have you, you will find like a white guy kind of taking over black American typical dialect speech. But for the better part of the time, like, black American men and women that were raised in the ghetto, born and bred, speak Fanagalo the same way that when it comes to their language, English, we speak Fanagalo too. You know how there are, if you think about black American culture that we have inherited, guys, like, we know how they talk. Like, think Baby Boy with Taraji and Tyrese type from beginning of the movie to the very end, black American chat. And then think Scandal, Kerry Washington, from the beginning of Scandal to the end. The English is English, we understand it, but there is a ghetto nuance slang that comes from our Taraji and what have you. Their English is not pure refined English. It's not. It's ghetto-fied. It's like, chiseled down. It's fine. It's filed down, and they've added slang into it. Okay, and that's just the way they talk. Like, that's just the way they talk. No, it's I am. You get my point, right? So that same thing, that I'm using American culture because it's the most exported across the world, so most people will understand what I mean when I speak in this way. Where you be, where you at? That's Black American culture. It's where are you? That's English. The real English is where are you? Where you at is Black American ghetto speak. It's that nuance. Well, that same thing then that you would find in Black American culture here in South Africa. What the tantamount of it would be is, indeed, instead of English, it's Zulu or Tswana or Sotho or whatever might be the language, Ndebele, Swati. But it's got ghetto slang. And that ghetto slang, that is what I want. Hey guys, you don't understand. It's just, yes you do. You might get it. It's like, okay, there's a place for refined Hwam English, but there's a way that we speak Zulu or Sotho or Tswana or whatever. Endota, where? Keep up with my heart. Yo, God, I can't even describe. Like, I need to try and explain it, but that is something that I grew up just being incredibly attracted to. Like, I wanted a Black man that would know. We call it tsotsi tal, tsotsi speak, like swaggified chatting. It's guys that speak, ayo, what's good? How you holding up? Nah, I'm riding it out. Like, yeah, but like think un grand boy, or like, it's like my ex-boyfriend. One of the biggest reasons why I just could not for the life of me resist him, even though in the beginning I didn't want him because I thought he had a ghetto edge. Not a ghetto, but a criminal streak. Guys, it was like every time I would hear him speaking with other men, it was like I couldn't, like I couldn't deal, literally. Like, somebody bring a fan in the room and aerate me because I'm getting hot and bothered. I love the way Black, like, South African men speak with each other. Like, they're like, boss, like, amen. Like, I can't describe it. They would know. If you're South African, you would understand what I'm talking about. I'm trying to explain it to an international audience because I'm trying to conquer the world here. I want people to linger on me as I explain our nuances and our, like, I just have, guys. Oh, grand boy, like, oh, sharp, like, it's keep up on my heart, oh, it's cute, like, like, fere, jumpers, so banana jumpers, sure boy, sure, like, yeah, like when they, and then they laugh, like, hey, no, just keep on my line, chilling, the chicken, crunch up on me, snide, and yo, like, yeah. Pegale snai, pegale khashu. That like khashu's not a word in any language. It's not an official word, but it means food. It's like calling like I can't describe it, man. Like, I'm trying to find the tantamount. Like, it's slang for, like, a guy. So if a person is just like pulling a like gangster stuff, he's like whack or whatever. Like, yeah, you get, like, it's our way of talking and we get it as women. We don't speak like that because it's theirs. It's their language. We sound like ghetto women that are unrefined when we try and speak in Sosital. Fere, like, yeah. But when they speak, when they, it's like I could listen to them all day. Like, literally, it's an orchestra, a band playing all day. Like, I could listen to Black men talk to each other all day. If only the topics of their discussions were not so scathing to me. I could literally listen to them all day, like all day. It's like that in corporate too, when they talk with each other, passing one another, and then they'll meet with a colleague that's not black, and then all of a sudden they're all in refined English again. It's also true with colored culture. They also have their own way of talking that is attractive among them. It's their nuances, it's their cultural foundation. And as a black girl, having grown up among Soweto black boys, and so therefore, as a black woman, did I say man? As a black woman growing up among Soweto black guys, I, of course, speak Fanagalo, so my Tswana is not the real deal. It's mixed with a whole bunch of slang. And I have also been amidst guys that mix it too with a whole bunch of Tsotsital, like, and they also add like Afrikaans into it a lot, you know. Afrikaans is it's from the colonization of our people by the Dutch reformed people, the Dutch Netherlands people. We rocked up here, now we've got Afrikaans, so it's close to like, it's close to German, it's close to, yeah, the Afrikaans. You give, like, go check it out. It's got those roots type thing. It's mostly spoken by white people. But because of historical issues that we had, where we had to be trained in Afrikaans, it was called Bantu education, blah, blah. A lot of our men mix their English, their Tswana, the whatnot, with Afrikaans type setup thing. And it is that like just the adding, the throwing in, the spicing up of their speech with Afrikaans, and the, what do you call it, the innovation of these words that they have that are just ours, and the way they address each other, that ghetto thing. Guys, I can't to a point where I took it to God and I was like, I want that. Like, if I'm gonna have a husband, it has to be somebody that gets my blackness that way. Like, it'll have to be a black man that likely was raised in Soweto, or if not Soweto, something like that. I couldn't like that. Nah, I've been alama you nuances. I like diet terms. Like, like, just the way that our men speak, you would get it if you was. Africans are not struggling to understand what I mean at all. You know, but I am using Black American dialect culture to help you gauge what that is. Like ghetto speak, like literally loving the fact that the way that your man speaks is not even sound according to the dictionaries of that language. According to Tswana, it's not real Tswana, it's not real Zulu, it's not real Venda, it's not real Swati, it is not real English either. It's Fanagalo, it's a concoction, but you get it because that's where you grew up. That ghetto language, I wanted it so desperately, and you know what, guys, it's with us only. It's in the black community only. Black men are the only ones that have that cultural foundation because they're black, and I grew up among them. And there are things that made me get attracted to them, and among them was the way they speak. And I can't find it anywhere else. And I'm like, am I supposed to just let it go? Like that, the way they speak, the way they, oh goodness, like, yo guys, like, it literally gets it you know, makes me wobbly legged. It makes my knees all shaky. I get melted by a ghetto dude. Like, I've always wanted my men to be kind of rough around the edges, kind of street, which is why I don't like guys that have hair. I don't like hair. I don't. Like, it's like, what are you doing? Cut that hair. Like, shave. I've always liked my men cleanly shaven, because that's just the way that men that I, in my era when I was growing up, they were all chisco, all of them. They were cleanly shaven, like their heads had no hair on them, no German cut, no like MC Hammer lines, like, what do you call this, lightning strike, like shave it, whatever. This fashion that's going on right now with all of these dreads on top of the head looking like nasty C. No, the men of my generation, when we grew up, they were cleanly, they cheese gob, like, yeah, no hair, like, all gone. My ex, I remember, he would always, like, you know, these guys on the, like, just love, like even when they are working in corporate, they will still go to the dude on the side of the street that has clippers, that has a small little barber business to shave. And that's where my ex used to cut my hair, his hair. He used to get his head shaven. He used to stay in the south of Joburg. Like, go some, like, barber dude with a little plastic tent pitched opposite Southgate. And I was like, for such a snobbish guy, you visit some shady places to get your hair done. It's like, he's the cheapest one. I'm not going to go to Santon. He once gave me a story about how he went to Santon, to a salon, to get cleanly shaven. And they did a whole bunch of stuff and put a warm towel on his head and then charged him 250 bucks. He was like, I'm not going to pay 250 bucks to go and do something that was done for 30 bucks. Like, it's having those kinds of cultural nuances that are very specific and particular to black people, just black culture. And every time his hair would grow out, even the slightest, like the smallest little brush cut, he would go and get that hair gone. I remember one time asking him to experiment with letting his hair grow out to see what it looks like. He was like, never. I don't want to. Yeah, I have a thing about that. Men who shave hair. These guys of the this modern era that we're in, I don't know what's going on. They're growing hair. It's like, who do you think you are, Samson? Anyway, whatever. Like, do you guys? There are women who are attracted to it. But I went to Christ and I asked him, for a man, what she's got. Like, I don't want a guy that ever will fly with the culture of, you know, like, just fashion forward. And so now you've got, like, a German cut. It's like, no, man. What are you doing? Why are you growing your hair? Like, come on. Like, leave that for Nasty C. Because he's, like, 20 or something. Or 23. Like, leave him to have a hairstyle looking like MC Hammer. But as for the men that were born late 70s, early 80s, like the ones that I'm gonna end up with, come on, what are you doing with hair? Like, you give my point. I have a thing about cleanly shaven heads, and it's because I grew up with all these dudes just been like Tyrese in Baby Boy, like that kind of, like, how many men in Baby Boy, that movie, the back in the day one, come on. Tyrese's best friend, Chiscop. Tyrese, Chiscop. Even Tyrese's mom's boyfriend, Chiscop. Everybody was cleanly shaven. Clueless. Go watch the movie Clueless. Murray, the one who dated Dion. Chiscop, Murray's best friend, cleanly shaven. Like, the history that I come from are men. They were always with bald heads, and I've never stopped loving that. It's what I grew up in. I don't want a man that grows his hair. I don't want to compete with him with the mirror and all that jazz. But now they're allowing the hair to grow, and I'm just like, guys, come on, leave the 22-year-olds to be the ones with the new trend, like literally walking around Archer in these streets with a little bit of a funny little thing on their heads. I've never liked hair on men at all, not even dreadlocks, right? But most of the guys that I grew up among were like that anyway, you know, cleanly shaven, and they had that I was attracted to them. I literally can't even think of one that wasn't cleanly shaven. I think with all of them, cheese gob, but now they're growing funny little things on their heads, like little crowns. I don't know, do you know, like, I'm not hating, but I am hating. Whatever. I have a thing about a man that doesn't have hair. It kind of almost looks more mannish than guys with hair. I don't know. Right? And it is black men only that historically anyway were happy to have absolutely no hair on their heads, and that's something that I was so attracted to. Like, if you went outside of your own race, and like I went to multiracial schools, right? What is this? Colored boys always had hair on their head. White guys always had some hair, even if it was short, on their head. Indian men, like, only recently, literally only very recently, have white men been content, happy, comfortable to walk around with bald heads, right? Now you're finding all of these cleanly shaven white men, and they're looking really good. All over the shop. But when I was growing up, white men mostly had just a short cut. Most Indian men across the board, it was only within the black community where they went literally raw, like no hair. This here is exactly what's up here. And that for me was like, where am I gonna find it else? It doesn't exist anywhere else. Like, these bald guys, they don't exist, guys. They don't. anywhere other than in the black community. Of course, that has changed ever since then, and I have not changed my mind. Like, it's like my original default of what it is that I grew up being attracted to is still there. It is still sitting in me, chilling, making like a hammock, and I'm swinging in it. So the bald head, the ghetto factor, the way they speak with their boys, the hustling, just the hustling spirit of black men, like, yeah, like, you know, all the wrong things that you get attracted to, but also just a basic existence just by mere virtue of being what they are. When they wake up in the morning, that for me, it was like, Father, where am I gonna find that else? It's what I'm attracted to. It's what I'm drawn to. I like my men ghetto. I like them with a little bit of a ghetto edge, a street edge. I don't want, oh goodness, like it was, oh. So I was born in 1984, so that was like the latter part of apartheid. So kids my age group, if you've listened to enough of Trevor Noah's jokes, you will understand too, because he's given a little bit of a synopsis there, an explanation. Trevor Noah was born the exact same year as me, 1984. Right? We were at the latter end of apartheid. So we got to go to like English schools. A lot of us started out in, what do you call this? In schools in the ghetto, in like the Sowetos of this world. But then our parents moved us to schools that were mixed with other races, because a lot of the laws that were very repressive and derogatory and oppressive were already repealed. They were already getting repealed. So therefore, it is my generation of kids, slightly older than me, give or take by a couple of years, and then younger than me, of course, that started attending schools that were mixed race. And so these schools produced all of these twanging kids. What a twang is basically speaking English like the way that Karaba speaks English, okay? Coconut Kelly, I spoke about that the other day. And in the beginning stages, many kids still maintained a little bit of a Kasi like accent in their mouths that came from black families, because there was still a very strong rich black culture where they stayed. But then their parents started making money, because, you know, laws made it possible for black people to make money now, and then they moved to the suburbs. And so these kids were no longer influenced perpetually by other kids in the Kasis, in the townships basically, and they were also now in English school. So you're in an English school and you live in an English neighborhood. So it started producing my generation, like, you know, popping like popcorn, these guys that it was such a turn off for me. It was such a turn off. It started producing these guys that are like, ha there, how's it? No, I'm good, eh? Like all the time. Like, oh no. Like they sounded like white boys 24 hours a day. None of that ghetto edge. And it was a turn off for me. Like these super snobbish, yes, y'all. No, how I'm doing alright, eh? Like, how you doing, butts? Oh, man, I'm killing it, I'm cooking. Okay, schwaka. For me, it was like, oh, that's cool for the white dude there chilling next to you. But as a black guy, no, sorry. I was not attracted to those guys. Like, some of my own generation's guys got gentrified very uncomfortably. So what did Karabo do? I, in and of myself, was like, yo, hey, ha. So basically, I was a hypocrite. How you doing? Yes, but for girls, we were allowed to be snobs like that. But, I mean, goodness, there's something very mannish about men that stay kind of ghetto. So what did Karaba do? I literally refused to date guys in my school. Whenever I would speak to a guy, I'd be like, hey, how are you doing, Karaba? It's like, I'm good. It's Karabo though, you know, like, hey, oh, grand though. Y'all know I'm good. Sharp. Like responding in English, like, So I went and I grabbed myself guys from the streets, from the ghetto. Like, I literally dated street guys, because these ones in these Lonnie vlog places, going to St. Stadium's high school and paying cover charge to party. Don't nobody pay cover charge when you're struggling as a young kid. You go to a street party bash, like decay, like, you know, rarely ever did we actually go to like nightclubs where you pay a cover charge to dance, to, you know, we just went to some ghetto party, like somebody's house. Some parents were not there, or they were there, I don't know. Only in Soweto where you will have parties and don't nobody call the police type thing. That's again, American culture, don't nobody, and like it's influenced me. It's more like nobody is going to call the police, but don't nobody is like that kind of language. But like imagine it in South African culture, right? So a lot of the nightlife that I experienced in my earlier years when I was still partying and whatnot was grinding type of hustling nightlife, ghetto style. Like I was never an Uber girl. Like my little sister's on that tip. Like the whole Uber situation where the guy you're dating also has a car because dad bought him a car. No, yo guys, we would get in a car that can only fit like 6 people, and there'd be like 8 to 10 of us, and we'd be sitting on laps and whatnot to go to a party and hope that the police are not gonna find us using and like some old beat up station wagon type setup thing would be the car that we use, and the alcohol that we drink is cheap as cheap can get, and we have like little honchis in the gasi where we find this alcohol. There was this like joint of that nature back in the day called 7 Piece in Rockville. I don't know if it still exists or whatever. That's where we used to get a whole bunch of cheap booze, and there were parties all littered across Rockville. It was just a vibrant environment, and barely ever did we go, like I said, to clubs where you would have to pay a cover charge, like a taboo or whatever. We would like have little like random we would go to party hop in house parties. Thank you, Lily Pesh. Yes, as ghetto as that might sound, that's how I partied, and I preferred it that way. That Lonnie Saint Stidians boy lifestyle with the $250 cover charge to go inside Taboo nightclub. I only started doing that when I was a young professional earning money, and so I could afford to pay for the cover charge. And I also did not want to continue to go to those ghetto parties in the Soweto because indeed I'd grown up. They get filled with teenagers because they can't afford to pay for cover charge, and they get filled gadi kotani and all different kinds of random colorful characters. So if I wanted a more elegant crowd, I would go then to Taboo. So I then went only when I was older and I could afford myself did I start paying cover charges and stuff like that. But before then, I deliberately chose guys that kind of stuck around in Soweto every weekend. I literally used to travel. We lived in Alberton. You wouldn't even know what that means, so I shouldn't even like speak it. It was a suburb. When I was growing up, we lived in a suburb, and I used to travel every weekend to Soweto because that's where everything was at for me. And you still find people to this day that are like that, like grown-ups, like in my age, who go to Soweto every single weekend because the suburbs are boring and it's quiet and So I might be a little bit of a snob. Excuse me, Mr. Mingao, where's your car? My model C. That's what they used to call us back in the day. But the kind of snob that really liked herself some ghetto manhood. I liked them street. I did not like these refined guys that were gentrified. I didn't. The way they spoke English, y'all know, hey, okay, shape, schwaka, but sounding like a little bit of a Daniel or a Jacobus. No, I was not about that life. So, and it's never changed. It's never changed. Maybe that's why I'm attracted to guys with a criminal streak. I just like really ghetto guys that have seen some flames. But the thing about these ghetto guys is that it's not just ghetto loving. They are very typically ghetto too when it comes to the way they treat women. They're just not that great. Hey, are you feeling reached by my content on YouTube? If so, you might be interested in checking out my tweets as well, alongside reading my content on my WordPress account, alongside checking out my shorts on TikTok. They're all in the description box below. Please enjoy the next coming content. Bye. Yes, thank you very much. I will tell you what kind ruggedness that is perfect for me in a man. In The Walking Dead, Daryl, just boraf bagache. He is this dude that is a hunter, a fighter, a warrior. He's an archer, right? He has this like bow and arrow. He rarely ever cuts his hair, barely ever shaven. He's wearing just this one leather jacket. He's a biker and looks some day like he hasn't bathed for like 5 days, if not the whole year. That stuff is just really attractive. Such a man. He's always protecting everything. When it comes time to fight, like them zombies He is all up in that art, like to a point where Negan recruited him into his little organization, wanted him anyway, because he was just such a man. That ruggedness. He wasn't the most knowledgeable, but the best way about communicating with everybody. He just got the job done. It was like raw manhood.
Don't forget to like, comment, share and share and share and share and finally subscribe. Bye.